Looking at this flowchart of a country's total population, the official unemployment count only captures a specific fraction. To meet the Cambridge definition, a person must be of working age, willing, able, and critically, actively seeking employment. Apply that filter to this 2024 Paper 1 question. Which of these four people is officially unemployed? A student, an active job seeker, a retiree, or an adult providing childcare at home? While options A, C, and D describe people without jobs, they are classified as economically inactive. Because they are not actively seeking employment, they remain outside the labor force. This leaves option B as the only person meeting the criteria. Paper 1 questions often hinge on this distinction between the total population and the active labor force. Paper 2 requires even tighter definitions. Question 2 asks for a definition of cyclical unemployment. As this model shows, cyclical unemployment occurs when the master dial of aggregate, or total, demand in the economy is turned down. To earn both marks, you must use specific vocabulary. Your answer must mention a fall in total demand and specify that this happens during a recession or economic downturn. Avoid attributing this to the decline of a single product or factory. If consumers simply stop buying one type of phone, that is a structural issue, not a cyclical one. Cyclical unemployment is always a macro-level issue, affecting the whole economy, whereas the decline of a single industry remains a structural change. Question 3 asks you to contrast frictional and cyclical unemployment for 4 marks. Look at the left side of the scale. Frictional unemployment describes a temporary state where workers are in between jobs, perhaps waiting for better pay or more information on vacancies. The right side shows cyclical unemployment, which is driven by a macroeconomic lack of demand. In this scenario, there are simply more unemployed people than there are available job vacancies. To complete the contrast, look at the solutions. Frictional unemployment is often short-term and self-correcting, even at full employment. Cyclical unemployment can be long-term and typically requires government intervention to resolve. In 4-mark contrast questions, you earn the marks by explicitly comparing the duration and the necessary policy responses for both types of unemployment. Question 4 asks you to explain 2 consequences of unemployment. Before we walk through the mark scheme, pause the video and try to list 2 consequences yourself. Success here depends on distinguishing between why unemployment happens and the damage it causes. Listing the causes, like a recession or lack of skills, will not earn marks when the question asks for the results. Following this chain from our worker icon, the first consequence is lower economic growth. Unused labor represents an inefficient use of resources, which pulls down total output and national GDP. The second consequence is a strain on the government's budget. Higher spending on unemployment benefits creates an opportunity cost, as those funds are no longer available for public services like education or healthcare. This combination of lost national output and increased pressure on government finances is why controlling unemployment is a primary macroeconomic objective. Question 5 is an 8-mark discuss question. To reach the highest marks, you must evaluate the arguments both for and against a government trying to prevent a rise in unemployment. The pro-intervention side focuses on protection, maintaining national output, securing tax revenue, and reducing poverty. However, the anti-intervention side highlights the risks. Artificial job protection carries an opportunity cost, and pushing low unemployment lower can cause demand pull inflation. Additionally, frictional unemployment provides necessary flexibility. A strong evaluation concludes that the ideal policy depends on the current state of the economy, specifically whether it is facing a recessionary gap or an inflationary threat. To conclude, remember these 2 distinctions. The economically inactive are not part of the unemployment rate, and the causes of unemployment are distinct from its consequences. Fundoo Tutor is a personalized learning platform that helps students succeed in Cambridge, IB, and other international curriculums, with expert mentorship, structured learning support, and engaging resources.